On the quiet shore of a small village near the Arabian Sea there lived a simple fisherman named Karim who believed that time was like the tide, it comes and goes but many people do not notice its value. Karim woke up every morning before the sun rose while the sky was still painted in soft blue and orange. He would push his small wooden boat into the water and whisper a prayer of gratitude. He was not rich but he was peaceful and he respected every minute of his day because he knew that once a moment passed it would never return. One day a wealthy businessman from the big city came to the village for a holiday. He saw Karim sitting beside his boat repairing a fishing net after returning from the sea early in the morning. The businessman was surprised and asked, "Why are you back so soon? The sea is still calm and the sun has just risen." Karim smiled gently and said, "I have caught enough fish to feed my family and sell some in the market. That is enough for today." The businessman laughed and said, "Enough? You could stay longer, catch more fish, earn more money and then buy a bigger boat." Karim looked at him with curiosity and asked, "And then what?" The businessman replied, "Then you could hire workers, buy many boats, build a big fishing company and become very rich." Karim asked again, "And then what?" The businessman said, "Then you could move to the city, live in a big house and enjoy your life without worries." Karim smiled once more and said, "And what would I do then?" The businessman proudly answered, "Then you could relax with your family, wake up when you want, spend time with your children, sit by the sea and enjoy the sunset." Karim gently looked at the horizon and said, "But sir, I already do that every day." The businessman became silent for a moment because he realized that Karim was already living the life he was suggesting but without wasting years chasing it. However, the story did not end there because the businessman could not forget the fisherman's words. He kept thinking about them even after returning to the city where tall buildings touched the sky and people rushed like flowing rivers of stress. In the city the businessman worked day and night, attending meetings, checking emails, answering calls and worrying about profits. He had money but he had no time. He missed his daughter's school event, he postponed family dinners, he forgot how the sunset looked because he was always inside his office. One evening while staring at the city lights he remembered Karim's peaceful face and felt something strange, a feeling of emptiness. He realized that he had spent years collecting wealth but he had never collected moments. Meanwhile, back in the village Karim continued his simple routine. He worked hard when it was time to work and rested when it was time to rest. He told his children stories under the open sky, he played with them on the sand, he taught them how to respect the sea and how to respect time. He would say, "Money can be earned again but a lost hour is like a broken wave, it disappears forever." The fisherman understood that time is the real treasure because it shapes relationships, builds memories and creates meaning. 1 year later the businessman returned to the village not for a vacation but for answers. He found Karim once again sitting beside his boat watching the sunset. The businessman sat next to him and said, "I finally understand what you meant. I thought success was about earning more but I learned that success is about living more." Karim nodded and said, "Time is like the sea, if you fight it blindly you will drown but if you understand its rhythm you will float." The businessman asked, "How can I change my life?" Karim replied, "Start by valuing each hour, decide what truly matters and give your time to that because where your time goes your life follows." The businessman returned to the city and slowly began to make changes. He reduced unnecessary meetings, he created time for family dinners, he walked in the park without checking his phone, he learned to pause and breathe. At first it felt strange but soon he discovered a happiness deeper than profit reports. He realized that the most successful people are not those who control money but those who control their time. Years passed and the businessman built a balanced life while Karim continued fishing with the same humble boat. Both men remained connected by the lesson they shared, the lesson that time once lost never comes back. The sun will rise and set whether we chase money or cherish moments, but it is our choice how we use the hours between sunrise and sunset. The moral of their story is simple yet powerful. If you wait to enjoy life after achieving every goal, you may find that life has already passed by. Value your time today, spend it wisely, love deeply, work honestly, and rest peacefully because the true wealth of a human being is not counted in coins but in meaningful moments. And when your final sunset arrives, you will not remember how much money you earned but how well you lived and how wisely you used the precious gift called time.